overall, Lee, what are your thoughts here as we see the Cavaliers and the Warriors, a combined 16-0 in the postseason thus far? They're sitting back and watching these other teams try to come after them, but what's your sense of this year's playoffs? How would you describe what we're seeing so far this year?
Flat. I think it's been a flat playoffs for the NBA. I think it's disappointing. It's supposed to be, in the past, it's been a 2-month showcase. In this case, it will probably be a 2-week showcase that is the NBA Finals, because, a lot of just the competitiveness of the league has really diminished. And I'm not really sure how the NBA is going to correct it, because teams are going to look at the Warriors, they're going to look at the Cavs, and I don't necessarily know that the instinct is going to be, let's gear up and try to take them down, so much as it's going to be, let's sit back, hoard assets, and wait for this era to end. And look, in some ways, if you look at the NBA in the bigger picture, everybody kind of glorifies the 80s when it was Lakers, Celtics all the time. It was two teams, and everybody else just sort of cast as foils for them. And that seems to be where we are again. For some reason, to me, it doesn't feel as glorious as it did then, because we've just gone through an age where there were a lot of competitive teams. You didn't really know, would the Thunder break through? Could the Clippers, could it be their turn? You had sort of this depth of very competitive teams, specifically in the Western Conference, that I see now as being eroded to where it's essentially an afterthought, who's going to make the finals and probably even who's going to win the championship. And these are the ramifications of that Kevin Durant move, Michael, where Russell Westbrook and James Harden were such an attraction. They brought a lot of attention to the individual performance in the regular season. Now, in the playoffs, attention shifts to the team, and I think it's highlighting the fact that there just aren't that many competitive teams. And this is the byproduct of the super team. There's not a whole lot of talent left elsewhere. There's not enough to compete with those super teams.
But in the end, as far as an NBA Finals matchup for a third straight year between the Cavaliers and the Warriors, isn't that what we all want anyway?
I suppose. And I don't know that that's going to be a great series, just because, look, last year the Warriors had to blow a 3-1 lead with a 73-win team. It took a historic comeback from the Cavs, and then the Warriors had Kevin Durant. So can LeBron do it again? I suppose. At this point in the playoffs, it looks like he's capable of all things, but that's going to be a steep hill to climb for anybody. As dominant as the Cavs look, the Warriors still look more dominant.